You've read the books. You've watched the videos. You've made the lists. You've tried to change, but nothing sticks. You always end up back in the same place. Unmotivated, frustrated, stuck. You tell yourself you lack discipline, that you need to try harder, push more, hustle through. But here's the truth no one tells you. You don't need more motivation. You need more self-respect. Because deep down you don't like yourself. And that's what's holding you back. Not in a loud, dramatic way. You function. You smile. You get things done. But underneath that is a quiet, constant belief that you are not enough. That you don't deserve ease. That you don't deserve success. That change is for people who are already better than you. So every time you try to improve, it doesn't feel empowering. It feels like punishment. You go to the gym, not because you love your body, but because you hate it. You set goals, not because you believe in your potential, but because you think who you are now isn't worth much. So of course you sabotage. Of course you burn out. Of course you give up. Because the entire time, you were trying to fix something you secretly believed was broken beyond repair. That's why nothing sticks. Self-improvement without self-acceptance is just self-rejection in a hoodie and a checklist. And you've been doing that for years, convincing yourself you'll finally be proud of who you are when you hit the goal, when you lose the weight, when they like you, when you're more productive, more confident, more impressive. But every time you get close, it doesn't feel like enough. So you raise the bar and raise it again until you're chasing a version of yourself you never get to meet. Because liking yourself was never part of the plan. You only know how to be hard on yourself, not how to be kind. And kindness feels fake when you're used to shame. So here you are, exhausted, burned out, stuck, not because you don't care, but because you care so much. And it still doesn't feel like you're worth anything. But here's what I need you to hear. Change is not something you earn once you've proven your worth. It's something you create because you believe you're already worth the effort. You don't treat a dying plant by yelling at it. You water it. You give it sunlight. You check the roots. You care for it even when it looks like nothing's happening. You are that plant. You need care, not criticism, nourishment, not shame. You don't need another podcast, another 5 a.m. routine, another brutal checklist. You need to stop fighting yourself and start listening to yourself. Why are you always tired? Why do you keep scrolling? Why do you avoid silence? Those are not signs of laziness. They are messages, clues, reminders that something underneath needs attention. But you've been too focused on fixing your surface to heal your core, and that's where the real work starts. So how do you do it? How do you go from self-hate to self-respect? Start by dropping the war stop, treating your body like an enemy. Stop treating your habits like moral failures. Stop treating every bad day like proof that you're weak. You are not your lowest moment. You are not your worst thought. You are not defined by how productive you were this week. You are human, flawed, in progress, and still worthy. So next time you catch yourself spiraling, pause. Don't correct, just observe. Instead of, why am I like this? Try, what am I needing right now? That one question changes everything, because when you listen, really listen, you stop reacting and start responding. You stop abandoning yourself when things get hard and start choosing yourself over and over again. That's when growth starts to stick. Not because you're scared of failing, but because you finally believe you deserve to feel better. You don't become better by hating who you are. You become better by deciding that who you are now is worth showing up for. Not someday. Not when you're more healed, more perfect, more successful. Now, exactly as you are, because liking yourself isn't the reward. It's the foundation. And once you build from that, everything changes, not overnight, not all at once, but for real this time. Because you finally stopped trying to become someone else and started becoming someone you're proud to come home to. And that is a change worth keeping.